In this part, with the instructions that we've got about outer 2-point perspective, we want to use simple volumes and design a villa house. As I said before, it's better that our vanishing points to be outside of the paper. But only when we are training, it's better for us to see them inside the paper. The first thing that I'm going to do, as usual, I will design my vanishing points and connect some lines to it. Very soft and elegant, so later on we can add thickness to it. Also the other side. Because when we are designing, we shouldn't have a hard time finding vanishing points. Only to make us find left and right, that's enough. Second thing that I need to do is to create a platform here. At 1/3 of the page, which is our golden part, we can have that surface. It comes up till here. If we add a diameter on the other side and this side, we will get the middle. And connect the middle from here to this corner and to this corner. And make the top a little round. I don't want it to be too pointy. So here and here, connect them. We have another line here, and this one is also flipped and round. And next to it, a little back, we repeat the same process. For example, in this height, again, I have the same thing. This line, same opening, with lower distance, I have this. I want to go back a little bit. So we move towards the other vanishing point. And this is our opening like this. Connect the diameters, bring it up, and define the middle. Connect it to the corners, and we have that round as well. And connect that one to vanishing point as well. So I need to connect that one with that slope to the vanishing point. So let's add a little thickness to it to see what will happen. From this part also. Underneath this part, turns, and like this. Send this part to the vanishing point as well. This needs to be somewhat parallel to the other one. We need to bring it down with the same angle and send it here, send it with the same slope, and send it to the vanishing point. So the slope can be something like this. So we have this, and let's do the same thing on the area back there. So it's a collection of some tents or buildings. So if we move ahead a little bit, here, get the line with the same diameter, get the middle, connect it to the corners. And like this, we connect it to this vanishing point. And as you can see, we are creating a collection. To the continuation of the left and right, connect them, add the thickness to it. In this form, we take it out. So I'm creating a couple of buildings in collection. This also could happen in height. But for now, I will keep it as it is, and I don't want to make it too complicated. We bring this part here, and from the part that I defined, I can bring one part down. From this part to the vanishing point here, and connect it to the other vanishing point. The paper that I'm using in this sketching is very thin, and it's called marker paper. You might be wondering what is the difference between the normal paper. Marker paper is about 5 grams lighter than the copy paper. But from what I'm seeing here, the copies that we're using are 100% with better quality. And in my opinion, spending this much is not necessary. But one of the good qualities about this paper is when you use marker on them, ink will not pass through. So this is one opposite point. I'm adding some topography and stones and some trees here. Look closely. I'm doing my branches very openly and mix them together sometimes. Even though we've practiced them a lot together, but every time we could learn something new. And because of that, every time do it very carefully. Another tree next to it. Separate the branches. Like this. Add some leaves and branches to it and mix them in and out each other. They need to be mixed, always remember that. So like this, we added some details to it. And from the beginning that I'm doing it, I'm adding details alongside designing the building. Because these change the mood in the environment and will make us to add better details on our design and building. Like this. Add some details at the bottom, some bushes or greenery and stones, and determine what is happening here. So at the bottom part of here I can do some stuff. For example, this part, we close it, send it to the vanishing point, open this part, and next to it, that I'm moving upper, this part can be a garden and some stones. And the other side can be a little fountain. So we're starting to design this like this. A little shadow next to it also. From this part, water is falling down. Look, so here we create a small lake. And inside this lake, and we add some lily flowers inside it also. Close this part also so it's shaping. And place some stones and bring it up a little bit. Look. A little hatch next to it, so we define the water. And if you like, you can add some stone's texture to it. But we're gonna do it very softly and easily, so we can do it very fast. So it's not taking too much time. Like this. And as you can see, as we add these, it's changing the mood in this environment. Also, we need the stone wall on this side again. As you can see, as the wall is turning, the material needs to match the turn also. Like this. So in line with the wall, I'm changing the texture. So we created these details here. Let me hatch this again. Later on, if we wanted to, we can add some color to it. Let's add some stone brick here also. This is our environment, and behind it, later on in rendering, I will make it darker. And the skyline will make it super beautiful. Here I will move parallel to this line, send it to the vanishing point on the other side, come down vertically, and this is our glassy area. And this part that I have here, it can be closed even, like this, or we can add some openings and some windows. The thing that I'm going to do here is to divide these parts. And we take this part out. Give a little thickness to this part. They need to be 3 lines in those profiles. Send it to the vanishing point, so we are showing the interiors. You always need to make it like this. And I can divide it in this level like this. Here also. Because it's a little further, we can do less details on it. Same story on the last one. Here that it's turning, for it to be seen better, I will close the distance between them. Maybe not to make them as glass, and change the material that it's made of. But in this systematic matter, we have better environment. Let's add some more details on our design. Here on this inclined surface, I can make this like this. Have this movement with a little distance between them, and put emphasis on them, because our building doesn't have much details on it. I can show this with the lowest detail possible. Same story for our interior. It's really good that this place is seen. And if I have this area, add a little chimney and design the wall, and this part can come a little higher, exactly in line with the other one. It comes here, like this. Something like this. But I prefer to not have this higher. Well, later on in rendering, I will remove it. But I will keep this one at the bottom. Like this, it turned out. And before I do my trees, as you can see, we get the general idea of what is happening. Later on, I will try to make it with marker, so that we use less pencil for the tree and use more marker, so it's faster. Again, do some in the background, but generally I prefer to use marker. And later on I can add more details. If you like, you can put some stones there again and keep working on it. We use the same light color that I had, something like 732, 103. Add some autumn feel to the trees. And then remember that this part, in our interior, we need to add some light. Later on I will make the windows darker. But now I want to create a background like this. Do it very openly. Our sky will be darker. But for now we do it with this color. Add some stains in the tree also. And this is the general idea of it. We use number 733. Look, I'm doing these stains, and bit by bit we make it darker. We can use other colors also to make it darker. And we design it like this. Let's move to very dark colors now. For example, with a color like W09, I will do underneath my surfaces. Look, I'm highlighting underneath my surfaces. And if I want to be honest, I want to make my windows darker here in this environment. So we can use the same color for the window, or I can use even black for it, but for now we use this color. And in any place that we needed to, we can use another color. Look, as you can see, I'm using my darken stains everywhere. And we need to use them in all places. So these dark areas that indicate the shadows, we need to use them everywhere. Now I need to pick up my roll ball pen. But before picking that up, I'm going to create sky with the color like BG number 7, but maybe BG number 5 is better. And this sky that I'm doing will most definitely show what is happening in the sky and will show our skyline. Very good. Look when it's passing this area, on the bottom also. And this is a basic of what we're doing, and we can add it all higher and lower to create some movement. Now I'm going to use BG number 7. I can create some shadows and watercolor with this color. So the thing that I'm about to do again with BG number 7, we add some trees and create some background with this color. Here also, this part that I designed, with dark color, I'm designing my trees in the background. And as you saw, that I told you that I will remove those lines later on, this is how I will do it. Look how beautiful it gets when we add these dark areas in our background. As you can see, when we add these, your building can be seen much better. We place them in the background. Look, as much as we add details like this, our design is becoming more charming. Look, when I'm using these dark colors and I'm creating areas like this, but first of all we need to use them everywhere and fill our paper with that. And we could use a lighter color for the stuff that is happening in background. For example, I use BG number 7, I'm going to BG number 3 for some trees in background. Or even if 3 is not enough, I can use BG number 5. again, number 5, we use it in background. As you can see, these dark and light areas are separating your areas. So, very easy. I can use this with trees that are further away. Like show them that they are fading in our background. And as you can see, we create a very good background. Now let's add some stains for other areas. A couple of touch of color for shadows like this. And the thing that I will do later on, apart from the black colors that we are going to do, I can use color like 705 and 732 for my roof. As you can see, it's creating a really good form with these BG colors. Look, this mixture is really good. And because it's not very similar, I will add some more lines to it. But I prefer that my edges to be white. And if you don't like them to be white, you can use pure black for it. For example, when you use black profiles for the edges, the end result is really good. Now I will add my black stains. Look, I can test one of these corners to see if it works or not. Well, it's not that bad. It can be something different. And these edges can be super sharp. We put emphasis on them. Like this. It's always good to leave some places white. But we didn't do it this time, we can add something different. Now let's add some figures first of all here to create a scale and bring the area to life. It's really important that when we design these areas, we add some black lines also. And all the time leave some black traces on your design. These will help your design to be more readable. And in areas that we can't understand what is going on, we can put more emphasis on those areas. And as you can see, for all areas, for all greenery, bushes and trees, I'm using this in our background and foreground, middle ground, everywhere. In my background, as you can see, even though that I did my trees, I can use some black in them to show what can happen there. Even though that in the end, white color will do a miracle. And we can end our design with a white color. And as you can see, I did my trees with 2 colors. And I'm adding darker colors to them. I'm giving them really good depth. And I can indicate which one is front and which one is back. And as you can see, what a good result it's giving in all of them. And they all happened like this. Again, we add some stains for our figures back there. Below these trees, we can add some more stains. And as you can see, we add these black, is changing the story. So these dark areas can bring life to our design. And at the same time, you need to remember you need to use white colors and complete your work. And if you removed some part, you can add it later with white color. So I'm using white rabbit right now. I need white line on this edge. And I need to separate these 2 colors for sure. And in order for my roof to be seen better, I need to separate the colors to show what is happening at the edge of my building. And for clearing everything and these lines, I'm using white color. And as you can see, as I'm adding a white color between them, you can read what is happening in this area. We can have the white color for this edge at top also. Again here and here. Even on the surface, I can add some white lines. Don't forget on the window also. Add some reflections on the window of the trees that we did. So don't forget to add some details inside the window and reflection. As you can see, we need to add the reflections. And again, we can add some reflections with white color, and if a figure cannot be seen, we can do it with white color. Let's move to background or in foreground. If we did a tree with black color, I can do it with a white color here. As you can see, because my background is dark, I can create a white tree here and create a new area and create a good atmosphere and give it a good feeling. So we're not limited by colors, that if I did a dark tree there, doesn't matter, I can add a light tree here. The important part is for our design to be seen. The same story in background, even between bushes and these areas. Again, if I have something in the foreground here, we add it. In rendering, you need to be really patient and don't rush it in order to get a pleasant result that you want. And with just 1 or 2 time rendering, you will not reach the result that you want. In order to reach the result that you want, for sure you need to practice a lot and do a lot of work. And remember, copy one work and render it in different ways. I will give you guys some scans of my designs so you can render it in all different ways and create something new from it. Which means you need to print it and work on it at the same time and see the result. And as you can see, these trees that I'm adding with white pen are bringing life to our design. We can add some white stains here and there. As you can see, this rendering is basically with 2 colors. We have a brown theme and we have a blue color. So practically we're not using lots of colors in our design. With these few colors, we can create something good. So having lots of markers is good, but sometimes you don't necessarily need them and you can do it with simple colors. But the color set is important. I need to have a set of color. So, and as you can see, the result is very different, which means the thing that we did here gave us a very good result. And black colors brought design to life. This was a very simple design with finding spots on a cube. We found it. Which means very easy with creating triangles and putting diameters and defining the middle. We made this happen. 3 triangle roof, and we send each one of them to the vanishing point, and we've added small details to it. Just so easily you can start doing your basic practices in 2-point perspective. Be sure to it along with me, and when you finish the basic course, in advanced course I will teach you how to create volumes. With the instructions that you get in creating volumes, you can create any form that you like, and it will help you guys to use your creativity, and it will also help you to have a creative mind, and you can have your ways to practice, even though you need to think on this stuff on architecture major to create something outstanding, and everything like that needs to have a thought behind it. We will learn how to do volumes, and with mixture of them and analyzing them, we create something remarkable in architecture. Anyway, we're teaching you techniques in this course. We don't enter in architecture field too much. It's mostly just designing. And this will help you when you're thinking to line better and design better. I will see you in future episodes, and be sure to share your designs with me.